In this training, we're going to take a quick look at the single and multiple select field types. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Let's start by jumping into my screen here and starting with a single select field type. I can start by typing single, and there it pops up. You'll notice it's under the basics category, and if we hover over it, we see that this allows us to add a list where only one choice can be selected. Now, multi-select fields are very similar to single select, except that they allow us to select multiple things instead of just one on any given instance. But let's drill into single select first. Here's my single select field type. My settings allow me to start by adding in some choices, and I can either display this as a drop-down or as radio buttons. Of course, I can also require an entry in the field, and I can also choose to allow my users to create new choices. So if I want to limit people just to a pre-existing list, then I would toggle this off. Let's say my list is thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3. When I create that list, I can also change the color of these various elements, and I can reorder them by dragging them around or choose to alphabetize them. Now, if I click on this expand element right here, more options become available to me. You'll notice that the first thing I can do is include choice descriptions. This allows me to now add a description to this. So this could be the description for thing 1. You get the idea. I won't fill them all out. We can also go into including values here. So if I include a value, I can actually assign a numeric value to each one of these options. And these values can then be used in formulas to calculate things. So for example, you might suggest that you have 3 different services, and service 1 might have a value of $1,000, service 2 might have a value of $2,000, and service 3 might have a value of $3,000. Now every time you would select one of those things from the list, you would automatically know the value of that particular thing you just sold, and you could reference it in a formula field. One other thing you can do here is look at your predefined lists inside of the single select options. So for example, if you wanted to just automatically create a list of the 7 days of the week, boom, there it is. You can import the list, and it's going to automatically add those options to your single select field. Alternatively, you might want to look at educational level, continents, project phases, etc. This is going to allow you to set up single select fields way more quickly than you might have otherwise been able to. Especially if you're doing something like countries, you don't want to have to import the 190 countries that are out there. Instead, just import the list, immediately get those all set in your single select field. So very cool options here. Be sure to check out the different predefined list selections. Once you're happy with the way your particular list is set up, go ahead and save those choices, and you're all set, and you can add that field. Let's go ahead and just quickly drop into the multi-select as well. Multiple select field, also in the basics. And the only difference here is that I can select more than one thing when I am presented with the questions. So again, if I want to expand here, I get the same options for choice descriptions, including a value, and whether or not I want to use a predefined list. Let's go ahead with the days of the week here, import the list, and save our choices, and add the field. Now let's take a look at the 2 different fields side by side. On the single select, there's my description for thing 1, but you'll notice that I can only pick one thing. If I want to pick instead Friday, I remove the previous single select option and it now becomes Friday. Whereas on this multi-select, I can select multiple things, select done, and there we go. I have more than one thing selected at the same time. These fields are going to be powerful in any app that you build in SmartSuite, so if you didn't catch something, go ahead and rewatch it, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions about what we covered in this training, please ask them below in the comments section of this video, and until then, we'll see you in the next training.